Welcome to Vedic Mathematics Basis Base Values classes. We are initiating and exposing ourselves to values and features of 5-space VMST, and in this lesson 75 of this phase we have reached the central core of the transcendental domain, where are lively 1000 names of Lord Shiva. Shiv Sahasranam Stotram is a complete scripture in itself. Shiv Sahasranam Stotram is the scripture of 1000 transcendental formulations. These 1000 names of Lord Shiv, the transcendental Lord, or the transcendental formulations. In terms of these 1000 formulations, we can be face to face with the transcendental domain itself. The mathematics of 5-space, the mathematics, science and technology of 5-space, 5-space VMST format, the transcendental domain, and the sadhaka's urge to be upon the transcendental path and to transcendentally grow, transcendentally flow along the Sthapatya miring rod presided by Lord Vishnu, with the Mire presided by Lord Brahma, and the transcendental flow itself being presided by the transcendental Lord. Transcendental Lord carries the transcendental carriers. Transcendental carriers carry the transcendental domain, the transcendental entities, the transcendental phenomenon as a flow of Tejas within Prakash. This flow of Tej within Prakash is for the attainment of a Jyoti. The flow of Tej within Prakash is for the ultimate goal of being in unison with the values and features of a Jyoti. Therefore, the sadhakas who are fulfilled with the intensity of urge and who are intensively urging for the transcendental grace shall avail these 1000 formulations. Recite these formulations with faith. The recitation with faith of these 1000 formulations bring to the order of the consciousness bits going unison with the transcendental values. The transcendental values as consciousness values ultimately take us to the orb of the sun, where is lively phenomena of unified origin as a pole star. Therefore, the sadhakas who follow this transcendental path of these transcendental values lively within and as these 1000 values, they acquire the state to be face to face with eternity as has been attained by a Dhruv Bhagat. The Dhruv Bhagat had attained eternity by being parallel to this transcendental flow, and the scripture, the discipline, the mantra availed was Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, beginning with Om Namah Shivaya and reaching up till Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya is a range. This range is fully lively as 1000 formulations. Therefore, during present and the following 3 lessons, in these 4 lessons, our entire concentration would be upon being face to face with the transcendental values of these 1000 transcendental names of Lord Shiva. There are many aspects of it. The first aspect of it is that it is a part of Koti Rudra Samhita. The second feature is that this is a complete scripture within the scripture. The third aspect is that this scripture of 1000 names of Lord Shiva have been recited by Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu recited these 1000 transcendental names of Lord Shiva, and as a return thereof, as a transcendental bliss, Lord Vishnu acquired Sudarshan Chakra. This Sudarshan Chakra is the phenomenon which, if is attained, will help the sadhakas to be face to face with eternity and the universal law of the existence phenomenon within human frame as well as outside the human frame, and may it be ling or may it be a murti. May it be a ling of a Jyotirling with having its parallel upling. All these features, from Rudras to Adityas, this whole range of the values of transition and transformation from the 5 space to 6 space, the way the transcendental domain of its own becomes a self-referral domain. The logic, the value, the feature, the phenomenon that within the cavity of heart of transcendental Lord Shiv is the seat of self-referral Lord Vishnu, and within the cavity of the heart of Lord Vishnu, the self-referral Lord is the seat of the transcendental Lord Shiva. All these phenomena, all this mathematics, all these sciences, all these technologies and formats of the transcendental flow along the Sthapatya miring rod presided by Lord Vishnu, with Mayer presided by Lord Brahma, and as a life, as a phenomenon, as a Vasuki Nog, the transcendental flow is a set of, a very large set of, a very big set of values, very rich spectrum of the mathematical values, very rich spectrum of sciences, very rich spectrum of technologies. All the processing steps are there, very large in number, but these have been manifesting within these 1000 formulations, and these manifested formulations are of inherent potentialities to unfold themselves of their own for the transcendental flow. The Lord Vishnu reciting these 1000 names, and at each of the recitation, the format offer of the Lord Vishnu had been one Kamal. We know Kamal is a formulation and it is of value 18. We know value 18 is of organization 3, 4, 5 and 6, which is parallel to fourfold manifestation layer of hypercube 5, the representative regular body of 5 space. Further, it is well preserved that when Lord Vishnu had started this transcendental prayer of transcendental Lord, he had collected 1000 Kamal. 1000 5 space bodies have been collected for offering as a format for each of these transcendental names. Now, when the worship was continuing, it was seen that those Kamals had been 999 and one was somehow missing. Therefore, the stage and phase has reached when Lord Vishnu had offered his own eye as a offer for a format for the 1000 transcendental name. Now, there is a big message here. We know that when we organize any place value system, say n place value system, then we know the double digit numbers of this place value system are accommodated by the grid n minus 1 into n plus 1. However, the triple digit number transcends out of this grid and it goes out of it. It is this feature, value, format which brings us face to face with as to how the eye of Lord Vishnu, which is a setup of 6 space with 4 space playing the role of a dimension. Therefore, 4 space as is offer of a format as a Kamal for the 1000th name. We will coming to all these aspects. Rather, all these aspects will unfold of their own, and then let us, the real exercise, the real step to be taken by the sadhakas is that they shall faithfully recite these names: Shiva, Hara, Mrid, Rudra, Pushkara, Pushpalochan, Arthagamme, Sadachar, Sharva, Shambhu, Maheshwar, Chandrapid, Chandramauli, Vishwam, Vishmeshwar, and like that we have to continue from the first to the 1000th name. And these are the formulations. So for formulations, we have to reach at how many syllables are availed for its composition, and further how many letters have been availed, and what is the transcendental code value which is emerging for this formulation. And once this transcendental code value is available, then we have to reach at its placement along the Sthapatya miring rod. And once there has been a fixation of the placement along the Sthapatya miring rod, then we have to we have to follow the transcendental flow. Formulation with its syllables, with its letters, with its transcendental code value, with its fixation along the Sthapatya miring rod, and then following the transcendental flow parallel to this value, parallel to these letters, parallel to these syllables as this formulation. This is the first formulation, and like that we have to sequentially reach at up till the last 1000th formulation. With it, it is evident. On the face of it, we can know that it is going to be a very big exercise. No doubt, it is a big exercise, but it is very, very blissful exercise, as the bliss of the transcendental unfolding values from within these manifested formulations is of such a bliss, of such a virtue, that it is parallel to the transcendental bliss of its own, transiting and transforming into a self-referral values. Transcendental flow of self-referral values is going to be the ultimate attainment of the sadhakas who are face to face with this transcendental flow and who are along the path of this transcendental flow, and those who have really been very gently, very faithfully absorbing sequentially the transcendental bits, the consciousness bits emerging from within these formulations. And once one is on this transcendental path, and once one is proceeding like this, then one will feel that at the initial stage, when we are at value 12, which is equal to the transcendental code value of the self-referral domain 6 space, and the step ahead will be reaching at the unity state range of transcendental boundary of the unity state. It is this sequential emerging. What is emerging is a format. This format is a self-evolving format, and this self-evolving format is to ultimately take us to Sudarshan Chakra. So the formulation Sudarshan Chakra is to be reached at for its values, and we know it is 6 plus 7, 13, 15, 18, 26 and 624, and it is equal to 6 into 4, and we know 4 space plays the role of dimension of 6 space, and we know that each head of the Lord Vishnu, is equipped with the quadruple eyes. That is why we can understand, we can comprehend, we can imbibe, we can be face to face with the phenomenon that ultimately at the end reach of the worship in terms of 1000 these transcendental formulation by the Lord Vishnu. And when it was found that one of the Kamal was not available at that time for the worship, and Lord Vishnu offered his own eye, that means the creator space, force space in the role of the dimension was the offer. Therefore, Lord Shiv with triple eyes in each of his heads. So it is this transcendental phenomenon of a solid order. Transcendental phenomenon of a solid order has been in sequential progression or as a transcendental flow along the Sthapatya Mahiring rod presided by Lord Vishnu, with the Mayer presided by Lord Brahma, and the end reach and fruit reach as transition and transformation for this transcendental flow is that the solid order 3 space in the role of dimension transits and transforms into 4 space in the role of a dimension, and with it the transcendental phenomenon, the transcendental flow transits and transforms into a self-referral phenomenon. With it the reach of the intelligence field with the consciousness space is going to be of the order of the creative intelligence. Sadhakas will attain creative intelligence by absorbing the transcendental values of these 1000 formulations. On the other hand, these 1000 transcendental formulations will bring us face to face with the existence phenomenon of our solar universe. How our solar universe, how the space of solar universe is fulfilled with transcendental values and powers, and how these transcendental values and powers of the space of 6 space domain. So 6 space domain fulfilled with the transcendental values 1000 in number, and how these transcendental values and powers will reorganize themselves within 5 folds, and this is the reach where we will be at the end in the 7th Samhita, the Vayava Samhita. We will be face to face with Panch Avaran phenomenon, the unfolding of the solar universe fulfilled with transcendental values as a set of 5 folds. When these are unfolded one by one, when this would be possible by avriti, by reading and rereading and by having a fresh visits, as we know that manifested creations, four space creations with 5 geometries of four space make it within 5 folds, and each of these folds are to be unfolded, and for unfolding of the same we have to go to Panch Avaran scripture of Shiv Puran preserved in the Vaiva Samhita second part. Therefore, sequentially from this phase and stage of being face to face with 1000 transcendental names of Lord Shiva, when sequentially we will absorb these and reach at the phase and stage of Panchavaran, and when we will be fortunate to have our consciousness of phase and stage which is of a state which can absorb that state of existence phenomenon, then really sadhakas can say that they are successful for their initiation and their exposure. It is for this attainment of success, it is for this end fruit that we are initiating ourselves, we are exposing ourselves to the ancient wisdom. We are fortunate that we are face to face with this transcendental scripture, this transcendental scripture of 1000 formulations. These manifested formulations are having transcendental values with inherent potentialities of unfolding themselves, and then ultimately we will reach Panch Avaran scripture state, and with it we can say that we are the fortunate sadhakas. Thank you very much.